I want to tell you some more Thursday after Saturday. Time doesn't work the way you think it does. You call me Oracle, the most talking. Welcome to the call. And welcome once again to Booty Tickled in the True. So it's a continuation of the last Booty Tickled in the True, where I talked about, Booty Tickled about a lack of recognition and, like, government and corporations, largely government, and to, I guess to an extent, like, public news and stuff like that. And also, furthermore, I'd be even more booty tickled if it was like a thing where the government knew and they were just not telling us about it so they could, keep using it more or less without admitting that it exists. But I thought about it some more, and there's something else, like one area in particular that I'm even more booty tickled about. And that is mental health care. Now consider for a second. Let us just take as a supposition. Magic is whole hog real. There's like actually really no doubt about it except in people's minds. Like it's just the essence of reality. It's just there. How much does that complicate things for therapists? Like seriously. Should magic be real? And there is a person who doesn't understand that what they're dealing with is them suddenly being able to hear spirits or things like that. Well, they may well think themselves that they're going nuts. They start talking about this with their therapist. Their therapist starts wondering that, like, being concerned that they may be delusional, things like that. They might start prescribing medication they don't need. I talked about on the show how, like, if you use magic, you need to be careful about stuff like the levels of lithium in your brain, which is something that, like, most people need to be concerned about. Like, well, okay, most people actually don't really need to be concerned about it per se, but, like, everyone has lithium in their brain, like magicians and not either way. And if you're a magician who starts being prescribed lithium you don't need because your therapist thinks that you're delusional, that you're like starting to have like psychotic breaks, that's actually a problem for you and for them and potentially for other people. And like, should magic be real? Wouldn't it be like important for therapists to know that so they could, I don't know, one of their regular clients begins making some very specific like complaints, that might be a hint to the therapist, oh wow, maybe my patient is actually under attack and they're experiencing problems with their condition being exacerbated or being masked, or even actually being them having their own psychological issues being played with by someone else using magic, because that's not cool. And realistically, how would someone know? How would someone know if like like if you were under attack from someone using magic and you told your therapist, you could be telling the truth and you'd look like your hierarchy of needs had gone up. And then all of a sudden, the therapist trying to figure out what the stressor is that's making you develop these new like feelings of persecution. When the problem isn't that you have feelings of persecution, it's that you're actually being persecuted. Like, what do they even do with that? And so I'm booty tickled about that. Now, obviously, again, maybe I'm wrong to be booty tickled, but actually, one of my exes, um, when she was talking to her when she had a therapist like years ago, she made a point of making sure when she started talking to her therapist that she made sure she knew that her therapist understood that her views on magic were there, that she thought magic was real, etc., etc. And she made sure that that was something that like the therapist was aware of. And I understood that the therapist actually like accepted that that was like a not invalid belief of hers, and that informed the treatment process. But I was going somewhere with this. Anyway, I think that's just. I might elaborate more on this in another episode. I think I've gone enough for this for now. But yeah, I'm pretty booty tickled about that in particular. Because, I mean, before I go consider this, should this supposition be not incorrect? How many misdiagnoses could have occurred, literally, actually, because magic happened to be a factor in what was going on with someone, and the psychiatrist in question or psychologist in question either didn't know magic could have been a factor, or heard the word magic at some point during the process and was like, they've lost touch with reality. Like, how many misdiagnoses could have happened? Like an untold number. That is straight up disturbing. It is disquieting, and it makes me uncomfortable. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.